were discussing AOP, right? Aspect oriented programming. So, wherever you need a code on the fly to your business, right? For your business functionalities, for your business functions, wherever you want to add aspects, rather than hard coding it in your business layer, I have already business is implemented without disturbing this business. Without disturbing my business, I want to add some aspects to application. I want to add some aspects to application. Is if it is existing application or a new application also. Okay. All your aspects add-on services, right? You need not to code including your business. I mean, you need not to include along with business. You need not to add extra services code, right? You need not to add with your business. We will see what are all that extra services. Usually, we get a front-end request to our controller class. From controller class to the request will be taken forward to your model layer. View controller model. So here I have my business logic and my DAOs and its entities I have here. Business and DAOs or repositories. Usually we repository DAO here. Yeah. We will discuss it. Okay. I'll come there. Okay. Yeah. Did I discuss the join point and point cut yesterday? No, no. That I'll show you today with annotations. Okay. Yeah. So during your application implementation, right? Pure database logic we will be having in DAO database DB logics we have mostly all our CRUD operations, and the pure business logic we will be having here. Pure business code only. Pure business code. If you are following MVC, right? As per MVC standards, we keep only controller related operations in controller, business logic only in business, CRUD operations in DAO. But during your business implementations, you may need some add-on extra services here. You may need some add-on logics also you should apply here. But that is not your business. Okay, I want to apply logs. Logs is not a business logic. Logs is a extra add-on service which helps you to log the data when this user sent the data from UI. Is there any exception happened with that so and so data, or when this user operation has completed, a logbook is required. When somebody enters into the office, he may be an employee or non-employee, the security will log when this person came in, when came out, what is his Aadhaar number or phone number, everything he will note. The reason, in future if something happened for that particular day, if that happened, he will see who all came, so that easily they can able to trace out what, when they see problem. So to trace the problems we need always logs, otherwise nobody can catch the problems happening application. So the logs is a kind of extra logic apart from my business, so we add them into a separate service part or utility part, details or you may call services, instead of keeping The logic along with the business, you can write it separately. Maybe your logs during your business implementation, wherever you want to apply log, you need not to write your logs directly here. You can purely separate that logs logic. And if you want to send emails for few business operations during after, you know, while especially you are using um, applications like Swiggy or applications like banking applications, when you do fund transfer or when you book food or when you cancel food, you will be getting one email notification or one notification on your application or one message notification. That is not exactly the business. Business will, the pure business code will have all the algorithms for doing, subtracting or detecting your amount and keeping it into its account, calculating the food prices, all that pure business stuff you can have here. Any extra logic, extra services logic, if you want, you can keep them, a separate layer, mails or SMS functionalities. Or if you want to apply transactions to some of your CRUD operation methods, separate transaction service. Hopefully transactions we put including with the business only. Exception handling. I want to put some exception handlers to handle my exceptions. So failovers will be handled here when there is an exception. I don't want to even put the try catch blocks here and exception solutions here. If there is a common exception across my business, I want to put that exceptions here and I want to handle them here. I don't want to disturb my business. So a separate service layer altogether you can build. A separate service layer altogether you can build to add any services, to your application, to add any services, validation, whatnot, security, any kind of stuff. Instead of including with your business, you can write separately. But how you will apply that to your business? I have a logic here. That logic how I can integrate with my business. Usually, if we are using core Java concepts or Spring IOC concepts, you need to inject that log object here via dependency injection or by using extension. So as you know, inheritance via inheritance oops concept or by using your IOC dependency injection, you can inject that log object here and you can utilize it. Or mail object you can inject and utilize it. Or exceptions class object you can utilize and call that methods. Or validations object you can inject and utilize it. But still, if you don't want to if you don't want to code that in your business layer, you can avoid it. Pure business logic you can write on the fly when you want to apply this logs logic or mails, exception handling, validations, anything, right? You can apply it. But during business logic or during business code, right? Specific business code or 5 lines of business code I implemented in between 5 lines mail code I want to integrate. Then at that use cases you can integrate that mail object here via dependency injection. But that is not a recommended way. Okay, so if I can keep controller logic separately, business logic separately, CRUD operation method separately, and this add-on method separately, unit testing is simple for me, right? This particular unit for business logic only, so this business logic unit testing is simple. While writing unit test cases, I can easily I can easily check this code via JUnit. I can check whether that particular test coverage is happening or not. When I keep this layer separately, the unit testing also simple. if I don't merge everything together, while we learning servlets, we used to keep everything together in single controller itself, even database logic also. We used to write one single servlet class. There itself, we used to write business code, DAO code, logs code, mails code, exception handling, validations, everything in a single class. But that is not recommended. We learned from MVC, right? We need to keep our logical blocks separately so the maintenance of application is easy. Maintenance of your application is easy, and in case if you want to discontinue any of this layer in future, if you want to discontinue the mail API, or if you want to discontinue the DAO which you implemented, easily we can remove one layer and we can adopt new layer. That is what the beauty of runtime polymer. With IOC, we understand that keeping separate a logical layer is important to maintain code easily for the maintainability and for the testability. Testing also simple, right? So all these logics via AOP you can apply. Via AOP you can apply to your business. What AOP do between what AOP will do here when you use AOP, right? AOP on the fly, it will apply this logic to your business. AOP on the fly, it will apply the logic to your business. Finally, it will produce a proxy object. So usually this is the dependency chain. I'll be having business object dependency here. This is the dependency. So that's where I put auto while. I have business object dependency. Business is having DAO dependency. So IOC will create a DAO object, as usual it will inject here. IOC will create this log, mail, exception, validation objects and your business objects. Both it will join into this IOP, like it is like a grinder or mixie what you will use for cooking. We add to prepare chutney, right? We add all ingredients into the mixie and when you switch on it, it will mix together. So this AOP will do the same thing. It will switch business code with your utilities code. Both it will mix together. Finally, it will produce you a proxy object. So all these objects also will be created by your IOC. This object also will be created IOC. Final IOC will prepare the business proxy object. So the proxy object will be auto-wired here. So directly your DAO object will be auto-wired here. AOP will do what for your business, right? Finally, it will generate one more business class. If you have 10 business classes, AOP will generate 10 more business classes, business proxies. You need not to write. No, no, runtime. Um, Consider it as an object or class. Okay, one proxy object will be generated, which is child for your business. What do you want to call it as an object? Yeah, you can call it. But for me, without a class object is not possible. What I believe. Uh, During compilation, it is not happening. Nothing to do with compiler. Proxies always generated during runtime only. Okay. Yeah. So for your business classes, right? As a developer, I implemented my DO class. Cool. No proxy generated. This business is injected here. And I implemented my pure business logic here. and pure loggers logic, mails logic, exception handling logic, validations extra I added. Finally, when controller wants to call business, this object is not at all used in your application. This object is never used. This object will be given to AOP. AOP generates a proxy. So this proxy object is injected into your controllers. Actually, you need not to write this proxy. Okay, this proxy generated during runtime. This proxy object will be injected into your business. So, as a developer, first consideration is what you think is DAO is injected into business, business is injected into control. Purely business, you are injecting into control. But when you introduce this AOP layer with your services, when you introduce this AOP layer, without AOP, business only will inject here. When you introduce AOP here for your business class, what it do, it will merge this logic, include your business logic together, it will mix it together and it will prepare a proxy. It will prepare a business proxy. That proxy will be injected into your business reference. So here reference is business class only. You never code here the proxy class name. My assumption is this business object only I am passing here. Of course, your business object only will be given with the extra proxies. Your business object will be given with the extra proxies. That proxy implementation is having what? When you call your business methods based on the requirement before your methods or after your methods, you may need to apply log. During after my method execution, I may want to send email or during exception scenarios, I wanted to execute this exception handling logic. Before executing my business, I want to validate whether he is passing valid data or not, the user inputs are valid or not, or if you want to verify security one more time, anything. You can write here on the fly that logics can be applied to your business methods for whichever method you want to apply, not to the entire class. Right? You can apply to the entire application log if you want to apply, right? Let's say I have a log. I want to apply that log for all my business classes. You can apply it by just mentioning your root package in the log AOP implementation. Okay, just we pass simple regular expressions only. So via expression, this log AOP implementation understands for which all classes it should be applied. Even the mail, if you want to apply for only few methods, you can give that methods, you can give that methods expressions during writing it. So on top of that so and so method only it will apply. So we will be having that complete control where we want to apply for which business class, for which business methods we want to apply these logics, utilities. Usually who don't know AOP, they put this logics including with the business. If you observe till today, right, the people who not aware of AOP concepts, right, who not aware of AOP concepts, they used to recommend you to code directly here in the business. But who knows the AOP, they don't include this utilities logic with the business. They write it separately via AOP on the fly. They apply to your business. So let's say during implementation, which code style is good? Let's say my developers, if you are a technical lead, if you are more no more stronger in AOP, you ask your team to implement pure business logics. Okay, if they want to log us, you say them don't implement any logs in your application, I'll be taking care of it. So the team can focus on pure business logics. They can implement all their classes, 100 classes, 1000 classes, or in future 1000 more classes they might add. What I can do as a technical lead or a a senior guy, I can add one logger class which executes both before your business methods and after your business methods. One single class I can add and I can pass the package name, the main hook package name of the application. So on the fly for each and every business method, one single class code I implemented, right? The same code will be applied to everyone. So they need not to struggle. In future, if you want to change any log message styles or if you want to change logger messages, go to a single class and you can do changes that will be applied for all the business methods. Okay, so the maintenance of your add-ons also will be simple, right? And you will be having that code in a single place, so easily you can go and make the changes whenever you want to apply changes across. This is the central service that I have implemented for all the businesses, so easily I can able to get the control over the add-on services also, not only on business, on this add-on services also I'll be having good control. I can go and manage the changes easily. So who helps you to mix this and this together means AOP. AOP will mix both together and generates proxies. That proxies will be auto-wired into your controller. End of the day, IOC is creating all these objects, but the dependency injection is happening DAO into business and your business proxy into controller. Okay, and who will utilize this business object? AOP will utilize your business object and this add-on object. Yes. Yeah, I'll be showing one animation example. If people ask me to repeat it, right, to get more clarity, I hope. Yeah, for AOP particularly, understanding theory is important. Coding is simple. Okay, so if you guys are sure how it is working, that's good enough. Okay, let me show you one annotation example also so that we can close AOP and continue. So I'm planning to take up MVC sessions from tomorrow. Not too many, one two sessions. MVC architecture I want to give you more in depth. Okay. Then few examples with the old style XML approach and annotations approach. No, not much. But this Sunday, right? This Sunday I'll plan one advanced Java session to teach you servlet also, one servlet example. But to understand architecture that is not required. Okay? Or even to code it also not required. AOP, MVC. Yeah, see, the challenges are coming like this. People still for banking applications, right, which are built 10, 15 years before in Spring, still they are continuing in the old style only. Even I came across two applications from last 5, 6 years. Two banking applications, still they are on the same platform. Yeah, so we came across all the possible ways, XML based, annotation based. So now you are comfortable. You go to XML based project or annotation based project. It's easy to you to manage. Hmm? Annotations. Mhm. For new generation annotations. AOP annotations. Import. Yeah. So the same business class I have here, bank. No, this is a simple Java project, not even Maven. Yeah. So I have two methods: deposit and find balance with account number and amount. Just read through this logic. One bank class with two variables: amount, initial balance, and account number. So I want to have a deposit method to credit balance. This is the initial balance. So when I add some more amount, it will be adding to this initial amount. Okay. So usually we save it. We save it in database. I don't want to go with the database example. So okay. So I just taken here class level variables. So I'm adding, checking my account number is equal to this account number or not. If account number is good, I'm adding it. If account number is not matching, I'm throwing a exception. Throw account not found exception. Okay. So when there is something wrong in your business, you can express it via exceptions. You can throw your custom exceptions. Okay. One custom exception class created by just extending from runtime exception, and the one message is returning account invalid. A simple exception class. Okay. So if it is exception class, using throw new keyword, you can this is your exception class object, right? You can throw it. Which objects you can throw? Always you can throw exception objects. When you throw it, whoever calls this method, right, they should catch it. Nothing to override. See, did I override any method? Nothing is mandatory to show the exception message, at least to two string method. When somebody print e dot get message, this message only it shows. Exception class implementation is simple. Just extend it from runtime or compile it. I mean, exception class or runtime exception class. Put your message, exception message, thus your exception is ready to throw. So I'm throwing it. And same find balance method, checking account. If account number matching, returning the balance. If not matching, again throwing exception. Cool. So this is my business functionality, pure business logic I have here. Now for this business logic I want to do apply add-on services here. Okay. So only before via annotations I am applying it. If you see, we will go one by one. I created my service class. So assume this service as your log or mail or exception handling, or all together in a single class. If that is not a best practice, write it separately. Log only. I want to execute this logs only before my business execution. Log before my business execution. So you need to implement a class for your log before, and you need to annotate your class with the at the rate aspect. You need to annotate your class with at the rate aspect. So what type of classes you have here? You will be having controllers. Yes. Uh, yeah, service layer class, not business. You may call util if naming convention is confusing. So this is business. This is the add-on service. Okay, or you may call it util. So this is service layer class. Okay. So here I have consider it is for applying log or mail or exception handling or validation, any stuff. You understand, right? Anything before your method, anything after your method, or anything during exceptions if you want to execute, AOP happily helps you. So I want to execute log before. I want to execute log before. What before? I want to execute log before my business class deposit method only. Before my business class deposit method only. So I am giving that method here. If you need it for all the classes, simple expression you can pass. Bank dot all the methods it will apply. Start for all methods it will apply. For only one method if you want to apply, you can put deposit. You better go through these expressions, okay? Let me share it with you. Yeah, these all are the advices. These are the advices. Earlier, when I implemented programmatically, I implemented a pure class from method before advisor. Now, of course, this is also advisor. It's your advisor. This advisor not required any programmatic approach. Just you use this annotation as an advisor. At the rate before annotation is sufficient with the at the rate aspect. Now this is the advisor. Annotation itself is the advisor. This advisor giving the path. During execution, it is suggesting to this log, okay, a log you execute for this class, bank class deposit method only. Okay. Aspects means services. We will talk. Okay. Yeah. So here you have multiple expressions, signs all available. Go through this tutorial. Okay. Now coming to this method can able to execute before my business logic. Before my business logic, you can have any number of such methods before logic methods. What are all services, add-on codes you want to execute before your business logic? Just annotate with at the rate before. And here whatever you see, right, this is the point cut. Conditions are point cut. Okay, whatever conditions you see, condition means your expression. Expression is a point cut. Condition where you want to execute your advice is point cut. So what is point cut in our case? This expression itself is a point cut. Deposit method. For deposit method I want to execute it. So the condition where you want to execute this logic, right? That is what the point cut is. That is what point cut is. So the join point object is a reference object for you for the introspection. When this method will execute? Before, right? This method is going to execute before which method? Your deposit method. If you want to validate your deposit method arguments, if you want to see them before, even before your deposit method executing it, use this join point object. Join point dot, you can get your arguments. For any introspections, you can get them to observe what inputs are going as it is executing before, right? You can put it. Or if you want to name, or if you want to name which method is executing during your log, which arguments, sometimes people used to log arguments also, log inputs also, get arguments if you want to print them, or get the method name only, get class, get target, get signature of the method, all the your business. Yeah, yeah. So just you should not assume that you need to write business operations here. Hmm. Business together with your utilities is a service. You name it anything, okay. Usually we put business logic in service layer. So for our clarity, I am maintaining separate business and service. Usually we write a service or a BO. People sometimes use BO package, com.rview.ecommerce.bo or com dot same dot service business objects. You, always package naming convention, right? There is no such rule to put this only name. If you want to put for more clarity, right, when somebody see it, if they want to catch what inside the package name itself, you can name it. Nothing wrong in it. AOP sessions, I mean AOP services or AOP aspects, if you want to add, you can add. There is no such rule you need to put, so what's the name, AOP aspects. You can put it. It's up to you. Okay. It's user defined, right? You name it, whatever you want. Yeah. So the join point will help you to introspect your inputs, introspect your method name and all. So that is what join point is. Join point is a argument to your before advices, after advices, and after throwing advices. In all these three cases, it will pass you join point for the introspection. Whereas in around, you will be seeing proceeding join point. We will see that. Okay. For now, just to see before this deposit method whether it could able to execute this log or not. Just simple logger I am using here. Logger.info I am applying. Just see it. So here is my bank class. Here is my aspect class. So here I am configuring them. Bank class object created, and this AOP aspect J auto proxy is useful to generate proxies. You need to activate it. Aspect auto proxy will generate proxies for you. Proxy means what? It will merge together, right? This one and this one. Earlier we see proxy factory bin. There we combine both together. Now I am not attaching them together. Who take care of proxying it? This AOP aspect is auto proxy will proxy it. It will mix your business and service together. Okay, your bank and service together. It will understand from this service. It changed it, right? Okay. So it will create object for your aspect, object for your business, and it understands from this aspect it need to create a proxy for bank. So end of the day, when you are getting bank object, right, when you get a bank object, it will give bank proxy object. So you can see the log also. Before, see, one log is printing before deposit method log which we implemented it, but that is not part of your business method, and it is throwing this exception reason we might have given wrong account number. So SBI 123. Yeah. So if you see here, this is our log and this is our business code. Log is not part of your business. Still, you could able to achieve it. I have not implemented any logs. Separate logs implemented. That is applying to my deposit method. If you want to apply for deposit and find balance, hopefully this should work, right? Is that the expression? That star? Yeah. Now it will be applied for both methods, deposit and find balance. When I call, sure. Okay. So I'll be calling find balance. Yeah. So this before log is executing before your deposit method and before your find balance method, right? Same way, right? I want to apply after, not before, after my method execution. So let me comment it, and I'll be uncommenting it after only, after expression. After for deposit and find also if you need, apply this expression. Okay, for now, let's keep it for deposit. Only after your deposit method execution. Only after your deposit method execution. See these two statements. My before method, not the before, right? After method. Okay, SOP also not necessary. Now, this one will execute after only. After what? Deposit method. So the deposit method is executed. After that, it is printing your log. So after your business logic, this log got printed earlier before your business logic. For find balance, nothing. Only for deposit executed because the expression saying executed for only deposit. Now do it for around. Around will execute before and after. Before and after. Around will execute always before and after. Before and after deposit method I given. Which code will execute before? This code. Which code will execute after this code? till line number 32 will execute before your method. After line number 32 will execute after your business method. Yesterday we see, right, around advice, the same stuff. So for the around advice, instead of giving join point for retrospecting your data, give a proceeding join point. Proceeding join point. So what this proceeding join point will do? This is like a do filter chain object. Okay, this is like a filter chain object. You can put whatever logic you want to execute before your business method. Then call join point dot proceed. So the call will take into your business method, and the response will be taken back. Then put the logic whichever you want to put for after. Then as it is this value returning. I am not doing any. Hmm. The return value of your method. Let's say deposit method must be returning some value, integer. Find balance also must be returning a value, right? So the before intention is what it wanted. It should able to do all the operations before your method, after your method. Before method, it needs your method inputs. Assume that I wanted to write something here with the variables, with the inputs. The same thing I want. So inputs as I have available here, I can able to consume them here. So the same thing, imagine I'm shifting my code from here to some other aspect, something I want to write here with inputs. How do I get inputs? With the join point or either with the proceeding join point. You will get your inputs. Okay. So you will be getting your input join point or get arguments. So you will be getting your inputs and do whatever you want with that inputs. Don't write any business code, maybe for validation or something you can apply. Final, the return value is integer here. Integer in the form of object. You need to downcast it, typecast it to integer if you want to consume it. Your method, correct. This method. Your business method which you given in expression. Yeah. So it is telling apply to all packages which are falling under this business. Okay, apply to all the packages which are there inside the business, and if you want to apply to all the classes, if you want to apply to all the methods, this is how you need to give expressions. Nothing. We don't know arguments count, right? Yeah, I don't know. If I have multiple methods, I don't know how many arguments I have. 1 or 2, 10, 20. I don't know whether it is collection, array, for anything. Okay, via this expression easily I can say, as I was saying, right, you can apply to all your classes or few classes, or in few classes for few methods. Exactly, that is what we are doing here. Only for one particular method we are applying. So for introspection, if you want to get inputs, use this join point to get inputs, even here also. Now proceed further for to execute your business method, which is given in expression. So it will go to that particular methods, it brings the return value. If it is void, it will bring void only, nothing it will give. The same void will be returned. Okay. So after this proceed, whatever things you want to apply, you can apply here. Now if I try to run it, If you see the logic here, my before, so the before logic executing in around deposit method before it is executing some log. After also it is executing some log from your around advisor. Cool, right? Yeah. Now, in case of exceptions, go. Which package? Hmm. 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 I think this is signature for this execution. Same signature. See, the complete package name we are giving. So this must be signature. Execution, execute. So must be saying execute all. Okay. Here the first wild card matches any return value. The second matches any method name. Okay. Okay. So he's saying return value methods. We will try it. Okay. Now as these methods are having return types, what if I don't put it? So this will execute only during exceptions. Only during exception scenarios. If I try to execute this deposit method with the invalid account, this should execute only in case of exception. Exception is thrown, but are we recording it? Your exception is not printing. So it is saying this expression is not good. Now, yeah, I got exception. It is going to my exception class. It is going to my exception and showing account number invalid. There you can have any exception handling logic. Okay, you can have any exception handling logic, or if you want to print exceptions, messages, or any solutions, you can put them here. Okay, so this is how easily you can able to maintain add-on services to your business using simple aspect and these annotations. And here, these are the point cuts. Conditions are your point cuts. Go through the book, okay? The soft copy. If I share, okay. What is point cut? Soft copy, I believe I shared in the group. Uh, Spring soft copy, the old book I have, right? I'll check it and share, okay? So there you can see what is point cut, what is join point, what is aspect, what is proxy. But end of the day, this is what the conclusion is, okay? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, utility services, you call utility services. Whichever class you want to apply on the front to your business. That is as usual. You need not to disturb anything. Whenever you want to add something to your business, go and look into your business, read and understand what you want to apply. No, stick, see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, I am creating objects for them, right? So, in case of pure annotations, okay, while using component scan, for your bank class, put at the red service annotation. This is pure service only, okay. And on top of your aspect annotation, put at the red configure component, okay. Stereotypes are required. Basically, in XML, as I configured them, stereotypes are not used while using pure annotations, right? Use at the rate service. For all add-on utilities, as I said, right? Use at the rate component. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. You, yes, yes. Anywhere you can apply. It will be applied for anything by matching the signature. But usually, I have my business here, so all business add-ons only I will be having in the utility. You are saying for utility, you have one more utility you want to apply on that. You can maybe your utility itself is a business for you in your case, right? Hmm. Ah, okay. So at the rate aspect, making sure that need to be this need to be created proxy, including into your business. Okay, it will understand that. So this class is having all the advisors. This is like a advisor where all advisors you have. I have advice. I have advice to give you, and I am the advisor. So aspect says I have all the aspects here. These all aspects combined together is a advisor. Aspect is like a advisor. Advisor. This is a advisor. You can call it like an advisor who is having multiple advisors. Yeah. In yesterday's session, we didn't see advisor. We didn't see advisor directly without advisor itself. We added our aspects. Without advisor itself, we added. You see here, right? We directly created proxy factory bin. Into this proxy factory bin using interceptor names. I given all that interceptor names here. This is what the advisor is. There you saw aspect, right? There is no specific class. I implemented all these classes separately using this method interceptor or using before advice or after advice. Those are the advices. All that advices I'm clubbing into a list here. You consider it as a aspect. All these aspects I am giving it to this target, to this proxy factory bin. So the proxy factory bin will apply all these aspects which are having advices. It will apply to your target. Okay. Read through them. Okay. What is advice? Generally, this is what the AOP terminology. Target means your business. Advice means your service. Example like log advisor, the place where you club multiple advisors, point condition where you want. Hmm? Yeah, the basically it's a condition where you want to apply your advisors, where you want to apply your advisors. Point. Join point is an argument to all before, after, and around methods. This is argument for before, after, and around methods to introspect. Proceeding join point is similar. An argument for all around advisors to introspect and proceed further. Like a filter chain design pattern, right? That's it. Checking in simple words, can you? To check. Yeah. Any checkings if you want to do. Mhm. Aspect J library. It's a library given by third party. Aspect J libraries. It's a library. Aspect J library for AOP, not from Spring. Third party libraries. Who is providing AOP concept, proxies concepts. Yeah. Not sure. Maybe with your Spring Web itself, all the libraries will be imported. You can check. Okay. Especially, I don't see you need to add. This bundle is available with the Spring Web dependencies, but usually for form project you need to add. Yes. Yes. Venu, asking something. Hmm. Don't go much into it. What I would suggest is, so if you understand concept wise, just revise yourself. Okay, go through the examples I given all in the book. Okay, so I'll be sharing that book and see it easily. You'll be getting it. But if we stretch more time here, it will unnecessarily eat. I think this is sufficient. Okay. Yeah. Mhm. They are asking you to interview, or you are asking me to? Usually, for the experience, it depends on the experience, right? For freshers or 1 to 2 plus people, they will ask simple core concepts, hooks concepts, collections, what all type collections we have, what is hash map, internal hash map structure, hash table structure, okay? All the collections in depth you need to prepare and how streams will work, okay? What are all aggregation methods we have, what are parallel streams, how parallel streams are useful, okay? How internal architecture is, and about your JVM also, right? JVM changes also there. So you need to see your JVM architecture as well, new architecture, okay? And what else? Simple cloning techniques. Maybe threads concepts if they want to go. Usually people will go into threads if they want to make interview complicate. Prepare for threads as well. The Java 8, we have this right executor. What is that? Um, the pool concept, thread pool concepts, executor only, right? Yeah, go to thread pool concepts also. Nothing streams, parallel streams, executors, multi-threading, collections, depth of collections, and the use of hash code and equals methods, comparator and comparable. Usually, these questions would be asking from core Java. Coming to Spring Boot microservices, you will be seeing different set of questions. Okay, yeah.